Winnie.
Yes.
You're always at the top of the list. Well done.
Always at the top of the list. Well done.
Winnie, could you do the first one, please?
Winnie, could you do the first one, please?
What's Scotland?
What's Scotland?
A place.
Yes. Where?
Yes. Where?
It's at the... Joe. Europe. Is that Europe?
Yes. Bit more specific.
North.
Bit more specific.
It's at North UK.
That's correct. So I'm not very good at drawing, but that's England.
That's England.
That's Wales.
That's Wales.
And that's Scotland. And Ireland's here. Okay? So it's the north part of Great Britain.
So, Nicholas.
And Scotland, yes, Phil.
Scotland. Yes, Phil.
So is Scotland famous for being rainy?
Yes. It is very famous for rotten weather.
Very famous for rotten weather.
Okay.
Okay, so not Scotland again. It rained every day. I want to go someone, somewhere, somebody or something sunny.
Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. That's correct. So, Winnie, where would you like to go that is sunny?
Kaohsiung. I think Kaohsiung is rather rainy.
Outside Taiwan.
Outside Taiwan. 可是日本很冷。Yes, do you mean what? Can you ask the question again?
Yes. Where would you like to go where it's sunny?
Where would you like to go where it's sunny?
But not in Taiwan.
But not in Taiwan.
Bali Island.
To say Australia.
I have went to Australia. I think the weather is good.
Where did you go?
Where did you go?
I have went to Australia and New Zealand.
Where? Well, what cities?
Melbourne.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Shelley.
Why didn't you come and visit me?
And
Come and visit me.
I don't know you when I didn't know you when I go to Australia.
Okay, thank you, Winnie.
About
Okay, thank you, Winnie.
When you come
Nicholas.
next time, tell me and you can come and visit.
Tell me and you can come and visit.
Yes,
Nicholas.
Phil.
Okay. When is a good season to visit Australia and you? When is a good time
It depends
to
where.
visit you?
It
During your
depends on
summer
what you want.
or you
What you want.
oh, we want to see you.
Hello.
Hello.
It's very
So
humid
person.
It's very
from about November to February,
November
but it's less than Taiwan. The rest of the year is can get cold.
Can get cold.
Sometimes single figures. So sometimes less than 10 degrees. But usually the temperature in Brisbane is above 10. In Melbourne and in Sydney, it gets very cold. And Tasmania, that's the island off Australia, Tasmania gets less than 0 many times. So so it depends where you go, but most places in summer here, our summer is from about October to March. So that's our summer, or our autumn, our spring and summer. So that's the best time for warm weather and sort of.
So maybe your spring. How about your springtime? How about your
Springtime,
right? You have spring,
all right?
right?
I think, yep. I think officially spring is from September, November to the 1st, and then November to February. So that's spring. This is summer, and then the rest of the year is autumn and winter. I think we call it autumn. The States call it the fall, because that's when all the leaves fall. Okay? All right. Rita.
Nicholas, where do you live?
Yeah.
Which city?
Well, I live in Brisbane. Wait a minute, I'll show you. I find that geography is not strong in Taiwanese students. You know where Taiwan is in China, and you've got a general idea of Australia, but much beyond that, it's asking a lot. All right, Rita, there's a map of Australia there. Where is Brisbane? Describe its geographical position.
It's it's on the right.
That's not geographical. So you've got north, south, west, east. So
East.
right. So yeah, but so you fill these in. It's on the east. What?
Of the picture.
East of your teacher. I want a word. So it's on the east. What can you call this?
Map.
No. Pretend you're looking at Australia. You can't say it's on the east map.
Is at the east of South Australia.
Yes. One word, coast. It's on the east coast of Australia. And is it north or south of Brisbane? Sorry, is it north or south of Sydney?
Yes, is Yes, Brisbane is at the north of Sydney.
Nicholas, we cannot hear you. We see your
Sorry.
mouth moving.
Sorry.
All right. Brisbane is 2,000 kilometers from Cairns. I said Taiwan is about, I think, the same size as Tasmania. But in Taiwan, there's 23 million people. There's 240,000 people in Tasmania. So you can see it's a very big country. In fact, the whole of the population of Australia is only about 23 million. So the entire population of Taiwan is in Australia. So people mainly live along the east coast. So the first place in Australia to be settled was Sydney. And then people went to Brisbane, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, Darwin. But along the east coast, I think there's about 18 million of our population. So in Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne and Hobart, that's where most of the population live. The rest of Australia has a lot less population. So and Brisbane is, we call it subtropical. I think Taiwan is subtropical as well. You may be tropical, I don't know. But the weather here is it never snows in Brisbane. It rains a lot, and as you go south, it gets colder, and you begin to get snow from here downward. So Sydney and Canberra and all these down here are cold, whereas Brisbane up in Cairns is tropical. It's very hot. So all right, and it's a big country.
Okay, and which city are voted the best place to live?
Oh, definitely Brisbane. No, probably Melbourne.
Probably Melbourne.
And does it also
That's
have
it.
the highest housing price?
No, the highest housing prices are in Sydney. The average
Because it's the
housing price
capital.
in Sydney is now $1 million Australian.
$1 million.
In Brisbane,
that's,
it's about 500,000 Australian. And that's a house, it's not an apartment. Apartments are cheaper. Melbourne's about the same. So it gets more expensive down south, but Tasmania is cheap because nobody wants to live in Tasmania. It's too cold. And Perth is too far away. Adelaide is full of churches. Darwin is mad. So most people want to live along Brisbane, Sydney or Canberra and Melbourne. They're the four main places that people want to live. Who said gold?
Nicholas, can you say that again?
Yeah.
What's wrong with Darwin and what's wrong with Melbourne?
All right, well, Darwin is said to contain people who are mad.
What do you mean by
It's the
mad?
frontier.
Okay.
Eccentric.
Okay.
Darwin.
Why are
Darwin
they
is,
eccentric? Because
well, I'll tell you what. I'll do a lesson on Darwin later.
okay.
Later this term. It's quite an interesting place. I used to live there.
Okay. And maybe about
And then,
an article about Melbourne as well.
yes, okay.
And what did you just say about Melbourne?
Oh, Melbourne is the universities there, or one of the universities has just been, is supposed to be one of the best in the world
Okay.
for
So
students.
you were saying something about Adelaide, right?
Adelaide is full of churches.
What do you mean by churches? A lot of churches?
Places, places of worship.
Oh, okay. Okay. So people there are religious.
Apparently, they claim to be.
Okay. Where was the place that had a earthquake years ago? Is it Adelaide? A big earthquake a few years ago?
There's been no big earthquakes in Australia. Christchurch.
Okay.
In New
It's not
actually,
in
there has
Adelaide.
there has been an earthquake in Newcastle, but earthquakes here are very rare.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Okay, that'd be all.
Rita.
Hey,
Would you like anything, something, madam? More, plus, extra, or else?
else. Anything else matter?
Yeah, correct. What's madam?
Mean, she got married.
No, not here.
No?
So, would you like anything else, madam? What do you mean by using that word? Yes, it's female. But what are you indicating to the person?
Being polite.
Correct. That's right. You're being polite. So, that's a female. What would you say for a male? Would you like anything else?
Sir.
That's right, sir. Thank you. Joe.
Hello.
What's fussy? Or what's a fussy eater?
Picky.
Yeah, but what do you mean?
Picky. Someone don't like eat something.
That's right. They don't like this, they don't like that. You must cut their carrots up for them and so on. So are you a fussy eater?
No.
Oh, good. I'll eat something, everything, nothing or anything. At all.
I eat everything.
That's right. You'll eat anything at all, so you'll eat anything. So do you like meat, Joe?
Yes.
Right. Why aren't you a vegetarian?
What? we need meat.
Well, vegetarians don't think so. Okay, thank you, Joe. Winnie, why do you like the Gold Coast?
I think it's very clean and the weather is good, nice, and it's beautiful.
Did you wear a bikini?
Did you wear a bikini?
Oh. No, I just
Okay.
stay there for a short time.
Did you go to the beach?
Yes, but I don't swim in there.
No. Do Taiwanese people like beaches?
Yes, I think so. Taiwan people like to go to camping.
But not sunbathe.
No. No.
Why?
I think because Taiwan people like to be 白。他问为什么台湾不喜欢日光浴？他问台湾为什么不喜欢日光浴？
我们有太多太阳。
We see many students in Brisbane who have umbrellas because they don't like sun, so they have an umbrella on their head. This is not a very good example.
I think
But
this is a very good example. I don't think you can see people here, except that you probably can see them, in the baseball game, right? Baseball game when they have to be outdoor for a long time. But if they're just going out, I don't think any Taiwanese girl would wear their umbrella like this, right?
Well, actually, there's a better example here, Pearl. Just a minute.
This is from China, right?
That girl would be on holiday. Yes. But we often see in Brisbane, just during the day, people walking along from Asia with an umbrella because they want shade from the sun. They don't want to get sunburnt. So they often have an umbrella. Even if it's not raining, they'll have an umbrella as a sunshade.
And you people were from?
Brisbane has the highest rate of skin cancer in the world. Winnie, what's the cause of skin cancer? So what's the main cause of skin? That's correct, Winnie. UV. We're actually sunshine, but you're correct. It's ultraviolet radiation, and that's just writing this. Ultraviolet radiation, and the main cause of is sunshine. So Queensland, where I live, everybody wears sunblock, which is it's like an ointment, and a lot of Asians use their umbrellas. No Australian girl would use an umbrella. It would have to be an Asian. A lot of people wear sunglasses and a hat. You see a lot of boys wearing their hats on backwards with sunglasses, and some people don't care. So it's interesting. Okay, thank you, Winnie.
Yeah, Nicholas, it occurred to me that I wonder if people at Tibet, it's really high altitude, and or in Himalaya, and if they have high percentage of cancer, of skin cancer. I know that many of them have eye problem because of the exposure to sun.
I think they get burnt eyes. If they don't wear special goggles, they have to be careful of cancer because, as you say, there are a lot nearer, and also the sun rays are bounced off the white bounced off the white snow, so they have to be careful. But most of them do wear lots of clothes because it's cold. But you can get sunburnt even in the cold.
Right.
Okay, Emily.
Hi.
Would you like to climb Mount Everest?
Huh?
Would you like to climb Mount Everest?
Maybe not.
Why?
It's too high and too tired to climb.
Yes, it's the highest mountain in the world. So
I know many Australia died trying to climb the Everest, right?
yeah, there's about 100 people die every year. They're crazy.
Yes.
And also
fall
it's very
down-
costly.
Oh yes. But not something I do. Anyway, Emily, you do the next one, please. Wait a minute. So somebody wanted to come and see the film with me, so I went on my own. Nobody, someone, everybody, or anybody.
I think it's nobody.
Correct, nobody. Do you like films, Emily?
Yes.
What was the last film you saw?
The Minions.
Sorry?
Minions.
Indian?
Minions. The Minions. Cartoon.
Oh, the Minions. Yes, I saw that.
Yes.
Tell me what you thought of it.
Cartoon.
What did you think of the film?
It's about adventure and very cute.
It was. Did you see it? Was it subtitled, or did you hear it in Mandarin?
Right.
So subtitle. Did you hear them speaking in Mandarin?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Okay. So did they speak in Mandarin? Ni hao?
They speak English.
Oh, yeah. So did you have subtitles?
Yeah, subtitle in Chinese.
Which do you think is better? Hearing Mandarin or reading subtitles?
I think reading is better.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bin.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ben. There
Good
are
morning,
two
Ben.
possible
There
answers
are
apparently,
two
but
possible
which is the
answers,
most
apparently.
usual?
Which is the most usual?
Would you like something
Would you like
to
something
drink? Oh, I've told you now.
to drink? Oh,
Something is one of them. What's the other one?
Anything.
That's right. Which do you think is best?
That's right. Which do you
Something
think
or
is
anything?
best? Something or anything?
Something.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Most people use something.
Most people use something.
Other people might use anything, but
Other
something
people
is
might
the
use
better
anything,
one.
but something
Anything
the
is
better
quite
one.
acceptable.
Anything is quite
Do you drink,
acceptable.
Bin?
Do you drink?
I mean, do you drink alcohol?
No, I don't drink hot drink.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? I don't like alcohol.
No, why not?
No, why not?
Whenever I drink something contain alcohol, I feel very 刺激怎么讲？不是，我觉得酒精很刺激，No. I never drunk. Because
I have never been drunk.
I seldom drink hot drink.
Okay. Thank you, Bin.
I feel hot drink is
You go right. What do you?
very
I feel
很辣怎么讲
nauseated. Sick.
Nauseated.
Sick. No. I just don't like alcohol.
Dizzy? All right. Thank you, Ben.
All right. Thank you, Ben.
Flower.
Good morning.
Hello. Are you an alcoholic, Flower?
Are you an alcoholic now?
No.
That's good. Now, where's it?
Yeah.
Now, where is it?
A country.
Yes, where?
Yes.
A fashion place.
Correct. It is known for
It is known
its fashion, but
its fashion, but
be more specific. Where is it? Is it in near Australia?
Europe. South Europe.
Correct. All right. So there's Europe. Where's Italy? Describe its geographical position.
It is at the south of the Europe.
Yes, it is in southern Europe.
Yeah, it looks like a ship.
Correct. Good. I was just about to put this up actually. Some people say it looks like a boot.
Boot.
And the
What
reason
is
is
boot?
a boot is wait a minute.
Oh,
That's a boot.
yeah.
So some people say Italy looks like a boot. So it's long and thin and ends in a point. All right. Now, I love my trip to Italy. Something was so friendly. Everyone, someone, no one, or everyone, anyone rather.
Everyone.
Everyone, correct. Now, if nobody was friendly, which word would you use here? If nobody was friendly.
No one.
Correct. The answer here is everyone was so friendly. Do you think Taiwan is a friendly place?
Yeah. The beautiful view of Taiwanese people.
All friendly and nice. And not drunk. Okay, thank you, Flower. Now, excuse me. We're going to do something called the Royal Flying Doctor Service today. There's a short reading and then something something multimedia. Now, outback survival. The outback is also called the bush. And in Australia, because we're such a big country, we have large areas of, in the middle of Australia, we call the bush or the outback, and they're full of desert. So the whole of the middle of Australia is desert. If I put that map back up, so the whole of the middle of Australia is desert. And this Australian desert is also called the outback or the bush. There's no particular reason for that. It's just because it is not a good place to live. So we have red earth, and they have little rotten old bushes. So and rocks, obviously. So they call it the outback or the bush. And it is called the outback or the bush. It's just referring specifically to the middle of Australia and the fact that it's very hot, very dry, and not an easy place to live. What in the red earth? What metal causes this? Sorry, what metal causes this red color? Does anybody know? So what metal causes this earth to be red? It's mined here in Australia. So we have a lot of mining, and it's of this. In fact, we export a huge amount of this metal to China and possibly Taiwan, and they make steel from it. So what's the main component of steel, the main metal in steel? Anybody know? Alice? Alice?
Hello.
What is steel?
Metal.
Good. And what metal is in it? Steel is what we call an alloy. It's actually two metals. Two or three, actually. What's the main metal in? Somebody's written Fe. That's correct. What's Fe? That's the chemical symbol. It begins with I. and it's got 4 letters and ends in N. It's got RO in the middle. So it begins with I, it ends in N, and it's got RO in the middle. So what's the word, Alice?
Iron.
Not iron, iron.
Not iron, iron.
Iron.
Yeah, we don't say the R.
We don't say the R.
Now, what is the other meaning of the word iron?
Meaning of the word iron.
One means metal. What's the other meaning of iron?
What's the other meaning of iron?
The verb, actually. To iron what?
I don't know.
Clothes. Oh, yes. I like dawns.
Like doors.
I'm pretty certain you iron clothes in Taiwan. I'm not sure. So this is called an iron. And this lady or man, whoever it is ironing clothes. Okay? So, Alice, do you iron your clothes?
Yes, sometimes.
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 So
Yes.
all your clothes
When
are
I
normally
at home.
wrinkled.
Clothes are normally wrinkled.
Yes.
Yes, that's all right. At least you're honest.
You're honest.
Okay.
Okay.
What is a hunter, Alice?
What is a hunter, Alice?
So what is a hunter? Are you a hunter of men?
No.
Good. You're a well-behaved girl. What's a hunter?
What's a hunter?
What is hunter?
What is a hunter?
What is a hunter?
What do hunters do?
What a hunter?
They hunt. So what does hunting mean? Think of animals. Are the hunters trying to get them to say hello?
Get them to say hello.
They chase animal, hunt animal.
Yeah, and they try and kill them.
They try and kill them.
They call it sport.
They call it sport.
Some people don't agree.
Some people don't agree.
Alice, do you like animals?
Do you like animals?
I like animal.
Do you mind eating them?
Do you mind eating them?
Yes, but not chicken or pork.
You don't eat chicken or pork?
You don't eat chicken or pork?
I eat them.
Oh, you eat them. What about cats?
Cat.
No.
No.
I love cat.
Good. Why do they taste nice?
Why do they taste nice?
No.
You mean
I keep a cat at home.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, if you read this title here,
This title here.
Alice, it says Outback Survival.
Outback Survival.
Survival means he didn't die.
Means he didn't die.
He survived. And then there's, do you know what we call this punctuation mark in English? So do you know what we call that in English?
colon.
Correct. Good. And what does it mean? So if you put a colon in a sentence, what does it mean?
Means to explaining the word,
Yes,
the title.
that's right. So it introduces more information. You could also use a dash. So we could Outback Survival dash, because that's exactly the same. I prefer dashes myself, but you can use one or the other. So Outback Survival, the moment
Nicholas, did we lose you? I think we lost you.
Sorry about that. I thought the university place had stopped working, but it seems it just dropped out. Who was I talking to? Emily. Not Emily. Who was it I was talking to? Sorry. Alice, predict what is in this reading. So looking at the title and the picture, what do you think this is going to be about? What do you think is in the story? It's a story about what?
About the hunter survive.
Yes. And how did he? Well, how did they rescue him?
Airplane.
That's right. Okay. Thank you, Alice.
Thank you.
Now, a man found alive after disappearing on a hunting trip in a remote part of the goldfields. The goldfields is part of the Northern Territory, I think. Anyway, it's a geographical area in the middle of Australia. So a man found alive after disappearing on a hunting trip in a remote part of the goldfields survived without water for 6 days by eating ants. Police tactical response trackers found 62-year-old Reg Fogarty sitting under a tree this morning, delirious, dehydrated, 15 kilometers from where he was last seen by his brother Ray. So this is actually quite a complicated paragraph. So a man was found alive after disappearing on a hunting trip in a remote part of the goldfields. So found alive. So this is, he survived, that's the verb. Without water for 6 days by eating ants. Angela.
Hi.
What's the subject of that sentence?
Man.
Correct. Very good, actually. Now, the verb is survived. How did he survive?
He survived without water.
Yeah, by
Eating ants.
all right. Would you eat ants?
No.
Would you eat them if you were in the outback lost and they kept you alive?
Yes.
Yes, well he did too. What does remote mean?
Far place.
Yeah, that's right, a long way away. So Australia is remote from Taiwan. It's a long way away. Angela, what is the most exciting holiday, or the most exciting thing you have ever done?
I don't know. When go to a no. Travel with my family.
Right, where did you travel?
Pingdong.
Where is Kingdong?
In the southern part of Taiwan.
Okay, and what was exciting about it all? Is it a holiday place or is it a city?
It's a city, and I met my cousins.
Are they nice people?
It's fun. Yeah.
That's good. All right. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
So this guy, he disappeared on a hunting trip in a remote, faraway part of the goldfields. He survived with no water for 6 days by eating ants. Normally, if you don't have water, you will die after about, I think it's 3 days. So ants apparently have got water in them. I didn't know that, but apparently they do. Now, police tactical response trackers. Now, tactical response people, they are people that they respond to emergencies. I've typed that there for you. So, tactical response are people that respond to an emergency. So, in this case, they're police, and they are trackers. And in English, there's a word, the Indians tracked the man down and killed him. Bug, what does that mean? I've typed this sentence here. It says, the Indians tracked the man down and killed him. What does track mean there?
To find someone.
That's right. So they follow his footsteps, they follow things he has left behind, and they find him. So in this case, they killed him. Now, what does this mean? Tactical response trackers. What are they doing? Who are they finding?
I don't know.
All right. I'll come back in a minute, Bug. I'll just go through the rest of this sentence. It says, police tactical response trackers, they found this guy who's lost in the bush. Remember, he disappeared on a hunting trip in a remote part of the goldfields, so he's lost. He got lost and he lost his way. He didn't have a compass. Now, they found him sitting under a tree, delirious and dehydrated, 15 kilometers from where he'd last seen by his brother's Ray. So again, Bug, why were the trackers looking for this man?
Because he's lost.
Yeah, because he's lost. Where was he lost?
It's in the remote part of Golden Field.
Good. And what was he doing there?
Hunting.
Hunting, correct. Now, do you know any of these words? Delirious, dehydrated.
Delirious, a bit crazy and out of water.
That's right, a bit crazy and not very well. That might have been the word that, I think it was Flower talking about he didn't like alcohol. And alcohol makes you delirious. It means you're confused. Well, you've got the Mandarin there that Spin's put up. So it just means you're confused, you're not sure where you are, and so on. What does dehydrated mean, Bug? Think of water.
He's out of water.
Yeah. So dehydrated links back to here. He's without water for 6 days. Now, Bug, if I gave her a choice, would you like to be delirious or dehydrated? Which one?
Delirious.
I would rather be dehydrated because I can drink water and get better. If you're delirious, you may be very sick, and sometimes it kills you. So it just depends. All right. Thank you, Bug. Pearl, we'll just finish this reading and then have a break.
Sure.
All right. The pair had been on a hunting trip about 170 kilometers east of Laverton when Mr. Fogarty, this is this guy, Reg Fogarty, he became separated from his brother when he went to shoot a camel. Shelley, what's a camel?
Hello.
Hello.
Camel is an animal.
Yeah. Tell me more.
Live
What
in
sort of animal?
Very big.
Yes.
Have brown skin.
Yes.
They can carry people.
They can carry people. I'm just looking. Yeah, here's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes they're very hairy animals. This particular one, I'm putting up a picture, is, I think it's from a desert near Africa called the Sahara Desert. Now, this has got, how would you describe these things? So these things here, how would you describe them? A camel's what? Begins with H.
Hump.
Yes, that's right. And how do you say it?
Hump.
No, hump. So this camel has 2 humps.
Yes.
Now that's quite unusual. So because most camels are like this. They only have 1 hump. Do you know what the humps are for, Shelley? Why do they have a hump?
There's have
That's right.
help them to survive.
Yes. So how can they survive? What's in there? There's fat in there which allows them energy. But there's something else that is very important as well. So what else is important, Shelley, to stay? That's right. So camels can go without drinking for 2 or 3 days. And a lot of it is stored in their hump. They also have special feet that allows them not to sink in the sand. So their feet are wide. They're very. When they step, they sort of go like that. So they don't sink. They stay on top of the sand. Now, and also we have thousands of camels in Australia. So
Nicholas, why do you have camel?
Yeah.
Why do you have camel?
Actually,
I thought you have only kangaroo and crocodile
Now, early explorers
and rabbit.
from England brought rabbits and camels. So they actually brought camels because they wanted to go across the desert. So they brought camels, and in fact Australian camels are free of disease. So we sell them to the Middle East. Because all the Middle Eastern camels are full of disease. So we sell our camels, and also people eat camel meat.
How do they taste?
I don't know, I've never had it, but I wouldn't, I would think it's very fatty personally. But people in Australia farm camels for both live export and meat. So it's quite interesting. Have you ever ridden a camel, Shelley? Have you ever been on a camel's back?
No.
No, it's like sailing. Because when they're walking, they go up and down and up and down and up and down. So you go up and then you go down. It's quite disturbing, actually. They also spit at you. So if they don't like you, they spit at you, which is not very nice. Anyway. So, Shelley, what does pair mean? The pair had been on a hunting trip.
Two brothers.
Yeah, correct. So Brother Ray and this fellow Fogarty. So he'd gone off to shoot a camel and he became separated from his brother. Thank you. Now, Goldfields police said he had been sitting under the same tree for 2 days after becoming lost. He was extremely dehydrated, a bit delusional. But we've administered first aid and rehydrated him. And it's pleasing to say he's now sitting up and talking. It was extremely hot, extremely remote, and most people probably wouldn't have survived. Mr. Fogarty is now in hospital in a stable condition after being flown out of the bush by the Royal Flying Doctor Service. Now, a couple of things. Who's next? Rex?
Hello.
Are you a bit delusional?
Maybe sometimes.
What does it mean?
It means that someone think of that it's actually not true.
All right. There's a word in here that means more or less the same as delusional. What's the word? So there's a word that has a very similar meaning to delusional. It means that you're confused and you're not yourself. So what's the word? It's in the second line of that paragraph.
Delirious.
Correct. So those two here mean more or less the same thing. Now that's the adjective. What's the noun of delusional?
Delusion.
Yeah, what does it mean?
You are mistaken.
Some people say that Kim Jong-un of Northern Korea is delusional. What does that mean? So what are they saying about Kim Jong-un? They said he's delusional.
It means someone is crazy.
Yes. He thinks in his case, he thinks he's a great world leader of a great nation. He isn't. So that we say he's delusional in the West because he thinks he's a very powerful world leader, and in fact, he isn't. He's a little country with no resources. It's a difficult country, but it's not. Anyway, so back to this. Why is he delusional? This guy Fogarty. Why is he delusional? This hunter.
Because he is dehydrated.
Correct. So if you're dehydrated, you do get delusional. Now, how did they treat him? In other words, what did they do to make him better?
They bring him to hospital.
Before that?
Give him some water.
Yeah, they gave him some water. And what first aid?
First aid means help him.
All right, Rex, if you broke your leg,
Yes.
because when you stood up from the desk, you slipped and fell. You now have a broken leg. If I administer first aid, what does that mean? What is first aid?
Maybe hold my leg and fix it.
All right, but in general terms, that's right, we hold your leg and make you know, but in general terms, what is first aid? In other words, why do we call it first aid?
Maybe try to stop bleeding.
Yeah, but first aid means that you are the first person there. So you try and help the sick person. You're the very first person. So we call it first aid. It's the first aid they give to somebody. The aid that is given first. Okay? Now, he's in hospital in a stable condition. What does that mean? In particular, what does stable condition mean?
It means he become comfortable and or not dead.
Become what? Correct. So he's now they flew him out by the Royal Flying Doctor Service. Why did they fly him out? Why didn't they use an ambulance? So why didn't they use an ambulance?
Because it's too far.
Correct. And in fact, sometimes they call these a flying ambulance. So, you know, and that's, as you say, it's a long way. How do you pronounce that word? So how do you pronounce that word? Kalgoorlie. Now to show you how remote Kalgoorlie is, that's where Kalgoorlie is, right in the middle of the desert, or right in the middle of the outback. And there is a reason why Kalgoorlie is there. Just let me put this up. So look at the position of it first, Rex, and tell me why there is a so what does this signify? This is Kalgoorlie. So why is there a settlement in Kalgoorlie? What's there?
Because there's mine and there are some workers.
That's right. It's a mine, and this again. I think it's iron mining. But there's also gold in Kalgoorlie. So they mine gold as well. So that's why it's there, because people like gold and they like mining as well. Okay, thank you, Rex.
Nicholas, what kind of mine? Is it copper?
I think. Just a minute, I'll tell you.
And it's still working? Is it still operational?
Oh yes, it's still working. Oh yes, it's still working.
Okay. Isn't it pollutional?
Oh yes, extremely.
I mean, it's very dangerous. It's very, yeah.
It's copper and iron. So you know, it's got it's minerals. They're mining, if you like, minerals, I think you call them. Okay. I think that will do for that. Okay, Pearl.
And Nicholas, what's the theme of this article? To explain Outback?
The theme?
Or what? Yeah.
Let's ask Daniel. Daniel, what's the theme of this article? What? So, in other words, give us a summary. What?
Australia is danger and advance in rescue.
That's right. I've done a little thing that is a story describing the rescue of a camel hunter in the outback by the Royal Flying Doctor Service. And in fact, it was actually written because there was a lot of the government don't like paying for the Royal Flying Doctor Service. It costs millions and millions of dollars every year. They've got a couple of hundred planes. They've got 100+ staff, and it's very expensive to run this service for only a limited number of people. And so this is actually an advertisement for them, because they do such good work and save people's lives.
Nicholas, so do the brothers need to pay for Royal Flying Doctor Service? Do they have to pay for this?
It's part of government's remote service or remote medical service.
So the taxpayers are paying for this kind of.
Correct. Taxpayers pay for it. It's part of government services.
Okay. And people have complained about it? I mean, these people, they go on hunting. You just pay. Okay, like us. If we go mountain climbing here, and if you feel sick, there will be helicopters to help you for free.
Yep, same in New Zealand, same in Australia. Okay.
Okay, so shall we take a break?
Yeah, let's have a break. And then I will describe the first assignment next, and then we'll do some listening.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Very good.
Nicholas?
Okay. I want to talk about the individual assignment, which is to write a resume basically and a covering letter. Now, these are already up on the website. I've updated them today. Now, there's the main document which all the links are inside. Now, each of these is a separate link which will take you to a document. The submission date is the 30th of December, so you've got another few weeks yet. Now please note that anybody that does not submit this by that date will get a mark of 0. So unless you email me and say, look, my dog's dead or I'm sick, you will get 0. And that's going to be applied this year. I haven't done it before, but I'm not chasing you. If you don't submit it, you get 0 and there's no arguments, okay? Now, so this is the main document, and from here you can open each document along here, and these are the documents you need for the main assignment. Now, I'll just put these in order. Okay. Now, it's called applying for a job. It's only worth 10% of your mark. There is another option too, which I'll come to in a minute. Now, you choose an advertisement of something that interests you. So, I'm going to give you a website. I'm not giving you a choice. It must be in English. I do not want Chinese advertisements. So you have to apply for the job. Now, there's 5 elements. You must give me a copy of the job advertisement. So you need to take a picture of the screen or a screen grab or anyway, I don't care, but I want a copy of the advertisement. You must summarize it, the advertisement, in your words. Your words, not the direct. So just a couple of lines. You do a covering letter, and I will give you a template for that. A template is like a skeleton. So all you have to do is use it, and you can put in your own information or change it. You've got to do a resume, and again you'll get a template for that, and then complete the graduate questionnaire, which is a series of short questions. There's also this at the bottom. Can you see that on screen there, submission of assignment, or is it cut off on your screen? Greg? So after number 5, can you see what's written, submission of assignment? So can you see where I'm pointing with this arrow? Yes, you can. I can see it coming up there. All right. Submission of assignment. You need to email it to me. Okay? So those are the main instructions. Now, let me see what the next one is. There are notes on the assignment. Now, I'm printing these directly from a Word document. I usually take images, but I just want to see if you can see everything. All right, now the notes, you have to do a written summary. So I've given you a note as to what you might do for each part of the assignment. So in the written summary, you might say, who's the advertiser? What's the job? What sort of person are they looking for? What qualifications are needed? And so on, etc. Now, in the covering letter, this is actually an example. You've got, you put in the address, so you don't need commas or full stops. So that is an example of an address as we write it in English. You need the date. It's usually written as just the number, the month, and the year. So today's date would be the 11th of November 2015. You can also write it as 11/11/15, or Americans turn it round. So if it was the 12th, they'd say, I think 11/12/15. But we tend in Australia at least to put day, month, year. So I generally say, put it this way, 11th of November 2015, and then there's no misunderstanding about when the date is, because the Americans do write this sort of date in a different way. They reverse the month and the year. Then you put, if you know the person of who you're writing to, put that down. Otherwise, just put human resource officer. Let me pick somebody. Wait a minute. Daniel, what is a human resource officer? Stop looking at your phone.
Hello. Can you say that again?
Yeah, what is a human resource officer?
Manage your employees.
Employees. Are you human?
Uh,
Yes.
yes.
Are you a resource?
Yes.
Yes, and that's right. So you as an employee are considered as a human resource. So a human resource officer, if you like, manages employees. Thank you, Daniel. Go back to your phone now.
Thank you.
Now, you greet them. You can say, dear sir or madam. So, sir, we had that before, or madam. If you don't know who it is, if you know it's somebody else, you could dear Daniel or dear whatever. But otherwise, just dear somebody or other. And then usually you put RE. And I'm just explaining what's in these sections. I'll come back and show you an example in a minute. So you put RE, employment job, and then say where you found it, and I'll give you what goes in these areas in a minute, and then you sign off. Now you can say yours sincerely, sincerely yours, or just sincerely. Don't say yours faithfully. It makes you sound like a dog. So there's a good boy, a very faithful animal, and then you put a signature. Lei, what is an electronic signature?
Can you repeat again?
It's written there for you. So what is an electronic signature?
I have no idea.
All right. Well, what's a signature?
My name, the sign of my name.
That's right. So it's the signing of your name. So what's electronic?
Maybe on the computer.
Yes. And so you can do one of two things for an electronic signature. You could sign your name. What's your family name, Lei?
Huh?
What is your family name? Chen or Wong or Pong? Let's call you Pong. So Lei Pong. So if that's your signature, you could take a picture, and you could put that picture in here, and that would be an electronic signature. However, if you send an email, well, is an email a legal document? So, Lei, is an email a legal document?
Legal document.
Is it? If you sent me an email and said I resign, from your email, and you signed it, you put your name, is that a legal document?
Maybe, yes.
Yes, it is. All right. So if it comes from you, and you put your name, it becomes a legal document. And that's something you need to remember. Thank you. Now I've given you I've suggested that you use this website. It is up to you, but you can use that website there if you want. I'll just see if I can bring it up to the web browser. It doesn't always work this, but Can you see that? Seek, yeah, there. This is called the Seek website. It's the main website in Australia where we find jobs. So if you want to find a job in English, you can hit job search and it will go off, and you can and you can find a job by putting in the various things. Okay. Anyway, that website, have a look at it. You can use any other website, providing that the advertisement is in English. Okay. So that's one website I have suggested for those of you that might like to use it. Now, an example of a covering letter, a proper example. Again, this is on. So this is an example. Now, when you send me the final version, you take out all this. So you don't leave that in. This is just to guide you. So when you do it, you should put your address, your phone and email, the date, and then the person you're sending the letter to. Then you greet them, dear sir or madam. Each of these is separated by a line. So you greet them. Then you put RE, position as clerical assistant. That might be positioned as head chef or whatever you want to do. I wish to apply for the position of clerical assistant as advertised in the Daily News on the 4th of March 2007. Then say why I believe I am suitable because I have all the skills stated as necessary in your advertisement. Now, you have to be creative. Joe,
Yes.
do you know what the word creative means? If I describe you as a creative person, what does it mean?
It means that you have to show your idea to people.
Yeah.
And you have to be.
That's right. You have.
Yeah.
You have to have a good imagination.
Mhm.
Now, in English, if I say, well, Joe, what are you studying?
I'm studying management and information system.
All right, so management and information system. Now, have you finished your degree yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Now, for this, so when you're applying for a job, I want you to pretend you are applying for a job. I want you to pretend you've finished your degree and you have experience. Now, in English, I could say to you, lie. What does that mean, lie?
It means that it is not, the situation is not true.
Correct. I can also say be creative. That means lie carefully.
Okay.
All right? So when I say be creative, you put whatever you think is good for these resumes. I don't care what you put. I'm asking you to use your imagination. So you put what you think's best. Whether it's true, it doesn't matter. Okay? So be creative. Lie. So here, I have experience working in a small office. I was responsible for the accounts and data processing. I also carried out reception. So that's saying why you're good for the position. Back it up. I have a certificate for. I have a degree in administration systems. Other reasons. I am an efficient worker. I have a pleasant manner. I am a wonderful young person. Then you say a resume and references are enclosed. If you're sending this electronically, you could say attached, because really enclosed means a letter. So are attached. I look forward to the... So, as I said, there's a standard format, and you just have to change it to fit the job that you're doing. And then you would put yours sincerely or something. You could put your signature in there. As I say, you can put a picture in. Otherwise, you just put your name. And if it comes from your email, it is considered as a legal document. Okay? Now, if anybody wants to ask questions about these as I go, just tell me. Now, the second thing you have to do is a resume. Now, this is an example of a resume I'm going to put up now. So, there is a template available, so, excuse me. I have a frog in my throat. Sam?
Hello.
What does that mean? I have a frog in my throat.
Sore throat.
Yeah, I'm coughing. So every time I cough, I put the microphone off so you can't hear me. Otherwise,
Oh,
thank you, Sam.
bless you. Thank you.
Yeah, Sam, you said bless me or bless you. Do you know where that what that expression means? Actually, do you know why people say that? Yep, that's right. What's the Black Death? So, Sam, what's the Black Death?
One feet will be back.
Say again.
The people who have this
It was a disease
well,
we used to call the plague. And in the 14th and 15th centuries, it killed about half the population of Europe. And just before you died, sorry, E-U-R-O-P-E, and just before you died, you start coughing. So if you started coughing, people say bless you because they thought you were going to die and you needed a blessing. So that's where bless you came from. So hopefully you won't ever have the Black Death where you are. Thank you. Anyway, so
Thank you.
Again,
Nicholas,
yes,
so do we know what Black Death is now?
yes, it's a bacterial disease. Due to Yersinia pestis, which is a particular type of organism. It's cured today with antibiotics.
We can still find that in today's world.
Yes. Rats carry it. Rats and
Rats.
yeah, they carry what is it? There's a little midge or something, and it transfers between rats and humans, and there's lots of rats. So yes, we still see it, but today with public health, we don't usually have any epidemics.
Yeah. I think we used to have it because it's carried by the rats from the boat.
Yes, that's right. Yes. So, and it used to kill everybody. So, anyway, again, you're not going to put these in. Sorry, yes you are. The headings in a resume, it's a good idea to leave them in. So you're going to put your name, your address, your telephone, your email, your transport and languages spoken. So that's the personal details section. And you need to say what level you speak. So Mandarin, obviously, you speak native level. That's your first language. English, high level all written. So you might not be high, you might be low or medium. Then educational background and qualification. Master of Education, you've got to put the year you got it, the title, and where you got it from. So I've said this person has a certificate in computing from Kaohsiung Vocational College, or completed high school at Kaohsiung High School if there is one, senior graduate certificate. And each one put a year in. And you start with the most recent. So we call this reverse chronological order. Alice, I've talked to Alice already, haven't I, today? No, I haven't. Alice?
Hi.
What does reverse chronological order mean?
Can you say again?
Yes, it's written here for you. Reverse. What does reverse mean?
Opposite.
Yeah, go backwards. Men often say that women cannot reverse cars properly. So if you're in a car and you have to reverse, you go backwards. Okay? Now, what is chronological?
Huh? From past to future.
Yes. And if you put something in order, what does that mean?
Just like chronicle.
Well, if I said 1375, what's the correct order? What order should that be in?
1, 3, 5, 7.
Why?
From small to big.
And
they are odd numbers.
that's right. So if it was 2468, they would be even numbers. So that's putting something in order. Now put it all together. What do I mean by reverse chronological order? Here. These are in reverse chronological order. What does that mean?
We start from the most recent year.
That's correct. So the most recent is 2014, and this is going back in time. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, if you have not actually finished your degree, you can put, if you wish, something like, I'll just type this here, Master of Education bracket current. So if you write current on it, that means you're still doing it. You haven't quite finished yet. So you could put that there if you haven't actually finished. That's what you'd actually do in English anyway. Okay? So you here, if you just write that, that means that you finished it in that year. And if you were current, that means you started it that year, but you haven't finished yet. Okay? And then you go to employment history. And it's generally the years you were there. So, Shannon.
Hi.
How many years did this person work at the Kaohsiung School of Economics?
10 years.
Yep, roughly. What was their job?
Job teacher.
Yes, or lecturer. And what did they do?
Teaching undergraduate students.
All right, good. Thank you, Shannon. So,
Thanks.
You put the years you were there, the place, and then position. That's your title of your job. In here, as you said, lecturer. It might be administrator. It might be office person, whatever. Duties. Not a big description, just a couple of lines. So it might be at your stage, made coffee, acted as secretary for manager, something like that, whatever. Same here. Clerical services, clerical assistant, accounts and data processing, receptionist duties, answering the phone, handling customer inquiries. Kevin. Kevin?
Right.
How do you say this word?
Data.
Okay. There's two pronunciations, data or data. Both are quite okay. Now, is it singular or plural?
I don't know.
Well, have a guess.
Oh.
You can actually use either of those, Kevin. So some people say the data is correct. I myself prefer singular. However, increasingly people are saying the data are. Okay? So you can use either. The data is correct, the data are correct. So it could be a singular word or a plural word. Give me another example of something which can be singular or plural. Think of an animal. Think of an animal with wool that goes bar.
Fish.
A fish.
Sheep. Fish.
Yes, that's right, sheep. But yes, fish is also correct. But I was describing sheep at the time. So we don't say sheeps. Occasionally we do say fishes, but most people say fish. So the fish are swimming. The fish is swimming. It depends on how you use. The sheep is over there. The sheep are over there. So those are plural words also. Now, we do never say datas. All right, it's data. We do not say datas. In fact, one piece of data is datum. If you want to be, the datum is correct. That is actually the singular of data, but we never use it. It's Latin. So we don't say datas. Now, the word information, these are words that Asian students constantly get wrong in my experience, and the word stuff. Now, is information plural or singular? Do we say the information is correct or the information are correct?
It is correct.
Is.
Singular.
Always is. So we never say are.
Is. Oh.
Even if there's lots of information, we always say the information is correct. We do not say informations. We never ever say informations. No such word. Now the same with stuff. The stuff is over there. We don't say stuffs. We can say, you know, Kevin has a lot of stuff. What does that mean, Kevin has a lot of stuff?
Stuff means something. Maybe your cell phone, your book.
That's right. So you've got a load of things that you use for daily life. Clothes, 14 pairs of glasses, lots of different shoes, that sort of thing. But you just say, Kevin has a lot of stuff. We don't say stuff. Now, staff is another word. What are staff?
Employees.
Yes. Now, this is a different word. We never say staff. We say the staff are all there for, you know, I'm just using a sentence here. Now, it's a plural use here. So the staff are all, we don't say the staff, actually we can say the staff is all there or the staff are all, so you can use either. So it's like sheep. But those three words, I find that I do some assessments of English here, and frequently we say informations, staffs and stuffs. They're all wrong. These are words you only use with as single, and stuff is, staff, that can be either, the information is. So people always get those wrong. So Kevin has a lot of stuff. He is a member of the staff, and he has lots of information. Okay? So you won't make that mistake again, will you, Kevin?
Huh?
Thank you. Anyway, so that's the reverse chronological order, then the employment history, then, that's interesting, it dropped it off. Okay, so that's what, when I try to print, it only prints as far as it goes, so I'll just put up the rest, just a minute, that's quite interesting. So I'm printing from a. Actually, no, I'm not. So all right. So when I print from a Word file, it separates it out into screens. So this is the second screen. So that was the other example I used of a Pizza Hut salesperson. Sales assistant just means it can be male or female, and customer sales, preparation, pizza and deliveries. Now the third slide is the end of the resume. Community and leisure interest, member of the badminton club, volunteer at the Buddhist temple, other interests, cooking, walking, organizing social functions. Ivy, what are your community and leisure interests?
Community. Huh?
What do you do in your spare time? What are your hobbies?
I attend guitar club in last year.
Good. Are you
Yes,
very
guitar.
good?
Are you very good?
I can play something and sing.
That's good.
Yes.
Can you sing for me now?
Can you sing for me now?
Oh no. No. I'm better at playing guitar, not sing.
All right.
Yes.
So next week with your guitar and sing. Thank you, Ivy.
Thank you, Ivy.
And then, anyway, again, lie. I don't mind if you want to say that you play the piano and sing and you like karaoke, but you know, you're supposed to put something there at your age. Now, you should also have references. The other word for this is referees, but references are the same thing. So I put referees, but it could also be references. And usually you give their name, you give what their position is, and their contact. So you'd also put their email in there as well. So now these are what we call professional references. So in other words, they're professional, you've worked for them or worked with them. Now, Jason, I've said
Hello.
These are professional references. What do you think personal references are?
Professional is come from who have working experience or know your skills. Personal know who you are and. Personal are friends or your teachers, your relatives.
Good. All right, Jason. If you put your mother down as a reference, personal reference, is that a good idea?
No.
Why not?
Because it's not convenient, and maybe friends or teacher will be better.
Yeah. So she's biased. She thinks you're very nice. She may not be objective. She's called subjective. Subjective means she judges you as a very nice boy because you are her son. Whereas a professional reference is objective. They may like you, but they're not going to lie for you. Say, well, he's good, he's a nice person, he's got his qualifications, but his work skills are not very good. So the idea is try and get some good references. Thank you, Jason.
Thank
Now, the next bit is the graduate questionnaire. Now, I put this in every year. It's quite interesting because some people do it well and other people can't be bothered. It's entirely up to you. There's not much to it. Now, again, you need to be creative. So you've got today's date, when you will complete your current degree. When will you be able to commence full-time employment? What month and year? Have you got any experience? If you haven't got any, lie. Be creative. What field of business do you hope to get employment in? So do you want to work in, with chemicals? Do you want to work as a cook? Do you want to work in computers? Are you prepared to relocate? Nicole.
Hello.
Do you think being prepared to relocate? I say, what does relocate mean first?
Okay, this is
What? Nicole, where do you live?
Tainan. Taiwan, Tainan.
All right. Yeah, when you finish, do you want to stay in Tainan? Or move to another city?
I want to move another city.
All right, that means relocate. So you'll relocate, you will move your location to another place. So it says in this job application, are you prepared to relocate in the event of gaining employment? Now, if you put no, that will decrease your chance of employment because they might not have any positions where you are, but they might have a position in Kaohsiung, but not one in Tainan. So if you put yes, that means right, they'll send you. If you put no, we have no job for you. Okay? So many people don't want to move. That's fine, but you have to remember what happens. Nicole, what job do you want in the future?
I have not thought about it.
Okay, thank you. Jenny Jen.
Hello.
The next one says if yes, so if you've answered yes to this, please specify your preferred locations by state and region or town. Right, where do you want to go, Chen? What place would you like to move to for a job?
If much money everywhere, okay.
Chen, where do you want to go to for your job?
Did you hear that?
Yes, he wants to
Did
go
you hear
somewhere with
that?
a lot of money.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
desert. Even outback. It's okay.
Well, I can get you a job as a sheep farmer.
Farmer, sheep farmer.
Yep.
Nicholas, is that considered a tough, low job in Australia to be a sheep farmer?
If you own the farm,
Yeah.
It's high status. If you work on a farm, it's low status. A farm worker doesn't earn a great deal of money. But a sheep farmer...
Probably no girl.
If you, oh, we have girls. We call them jillaroos.
No, I mean, probably if you're a sheep farmer, no girl wants to date you.
No, it depends. There's...
You know, if you only work temporarily and cut the wool, shape the...
Yeah, but the rest of the year you have to go around...
looking for a job.
I
mean, if you own a sheep farm, then you are, you are a farm owner. That's different, right? So if you work as a farm worker,
but there's plenty of work for these labourers. They go around and they shear sheep, and these are women, so they're shearing
and
sheep.
Is it a good job? Is it a good job?
No, it hurts your back.
Oh, no, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Is it well paid?
Yes, it's you're paid per sheep.
How much?
I'm not sure, Pearl. I don't know the... Never shorn a sheep. But it is hard work, and you have to be solid. You can't be a skinny little thing. You've got to be powerful. So these girls, they aren't fat, but they're quite, they're strong girls. They're not skinny little things. All right.
To the
and
sheep?
then sorry?
Is it painful to the sheep?
No,
sheep?
no. Apparently it's like having your hair cut.
Okay. But I heard stories that some sheep run away from being shaved for many years.
Well, I think if somebody tried to shave your head, Pearl, you'd probably run away.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the graduate questionnaire. Then the final document is the resume template, and all that is... sorry, I've just lost my place here. Is a... It's a blank document with... it's in Word, and it's got the headings for you. So you can just put things in straight in if you want. Otherwise, you can prepare it as you feel, but you should send a Word document or a PDF. Now, that's all there are. So that's the instructions. It's on the website already, and as I said, you've got till the end of the year, basically. Okay? So that's your individual assignment. Now, there is an alternative, and that's to have an interview. Pearl, I might talk about that next week, because we're running out of time, and I don't want to do it quickly.
Okay.
All right. So, but that'll be a job interview, and you can do it instead of doing this. You still have to choose a job and send an advertisement, but you do an interview, and you'll be given questions and talk. But I've only got 2 minutes left, and I don't want to gallop through it, so I'll go too quickly. Alan.
Yes.
Have you ever had a job interview yet?
No. Okay. Yes, yes.
No. Yes, yes, or no, no?
Yes.
Yes. What was the job interview for?
Yeah. 学校打工的话。 I have a temporary job at university.
Right.
通识中心。In General Education Center.
Did you have an interview for that job?
Yes. Very simple one.
All right. What
I think the
questions
minute
did
they
ask
saw
you?
him,
Yeah.
有没有问你任何问题? I think the minute they saw him, they would take him because he's handsome.
Well, they say pretty people get jobs
You know, he's a good host. I mean,
than ugly ones.
yeah, we all know that good-looking people have a better chance in interview, right?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, we call that the way of the world. That's what happens in real
Because
life.
we can, you can continue asking him about his interview experience next week because we are running out of time.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, he can tell us all next week, Alan. And I want a job description from you. So you can tell us what you have to
I'll
do
make
in
him
your
do that.
job.
Okay.
And that's because you're so handsome. All right. Bye bye now. Have a good week.